Good evening. My name is Matt Rafferty, and I'm the director of the Denver Theater of the Greats here in the beautiful town of Denver, Colorado. It comes with great pleasure to announce that this coming March, the 15th through the 25th, we will be producing and putting on the August Wilson classic, Joe Turner's Come and Gone. This play by August Wilson is part of a cycle that he wrote describing the black people and their rise and emergence to find their identity in America following slavery in the 20th century. This specific title, Joe Turner's Come and Gone, focuses itself around a boarding house just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the year 1911. It goes into depth talking about a great character named Harold Loomis. Harold Loomis is newly freed from the South with his daughter, making his way up north in search of a better life, but more importantly, in search of his wife, which he was separated from 7 years prior. The journey that Loomis is on takes him to the boarding house here in Pittsburgh. At the boarding house in Pittsburgh, he meets many characters there, including Seth and Bertha, who run the boarding house. They are the patriarch and matriarch of the boarding house, the family, and the story as a whole. As the story progresses, you see the rise of different characters, the entrance and exit of different folks regarding their lives, what they're doing, how the town of Pittsburgh and the steel mill plays, how the role of the black man in 1911 is portrayed. We see the rise and fall of different characters until the eventual climax when Harold Loomis eventually finds his wife and reunites his daughter with his mother. Building up to that point was tough for the play. There's some tension throughout. There's some Ernst and not understanding what's going on between the characters. There's not a lot of trust at times. There's an interesting character named Bynum, who is almost a fortune teller in a way. He's a magician, a wizard, if you will, to the time. He sees the future. He sees what goes on sometimes. He speaks what other people think. It's a very interesting role that he has. All these people live under the boarding house rules that Seth provides. And the interesting part about this wonderful play is that the whole entire play is in the house. It is one set for the entire show. So, after describing what the play is about, I'd like to let you, the National Endowment, know why we are trying to get the $50,000 national prize to fund this wonderful play. First of all, we have a great cast. Denver, Colorado is home to some of the greatest actors and designers in the country. They're on the rise, they're eager to learn, and they're ready to build up here in Denver. So, I'd first like to talk about our acting. This play, Joe Turner's Come and Gone, features about 10 actors. And all these actors have put in the time, they've been cast, they've worked together for months now to prepare for the show coming up in August. The main characters of the show are Seth, as I mentioned earlier. He's the patriarch of the house, and he lets everybody know what the rules are, what the rent is. That's played by one of our great actors here in town, Mr. Harvey, John Harvey. Following Mr. Harvey, playing the role of Bynum, as I said, the mystery, fortune, wise man, if you will, is played by John Anderson, an excellent actor here who's played many roles here for the Denver Theater of the Greats. Following Bynum is our main and lead role, Harold Loomis, played by no other than Michael Johnston. Michael Johnston's first lead role here for the Denver Theater of the Greats, and he is a fantastic actor. To see him in the lead role will be great for everybody. So, now that we've talked about the acting portion of it, I'd like to bring forward the marketing. How we are going to promote the show, how we are looking to fill the seats and great. Give everybody in the audience a wonderful time when they're here. So, excuse me. I'd like to show you the poster that we're going to be presenting. So here's the poster of the play. As you can see, we have a fantastic picture here of resembling Harold Loomis and his daughter. They're both in the play. And the picture here shows the road that they've been traveling in search of his wife and her mother. The search that they've been traveling. In the back could be portrayed as Pittsburgh and the steel mills that are so prevalent throughout the piece. As you can see here, it's already been reviewed by great critics for the Denver Post and the USA Today. A great synopsis of what August Wilson wrote. This poster here will be hung throughout the city, and it will be promoted regionally to invite people in to come see this great show. Excuse me. So following that, I'd like to talk briefly about one of the specific designs. As I aforementioned, the stage is one. The stage designer will work hard to promote a great atmosphere for the whole play. It's going to be one stage the whole time. Our lighting designer and stage designer are going to work hard together to, to promote different scenes throughout based on the light and different movements. It's going to be a fantastic job by them. I'm looking forward to what they have to offer. In terms of the costume design, I view this as the most important. Like I said, we have 10 characters, and they're all in the same scene the whole time. We need to do something to make them jump out. Their acting is going to speak for itself, but there needs to be more. So in terms of costume design, we've brought in one of the greatest costume designers that I have ever worked with. His name is Elliot McFinkelstein. And he has created some of these 3 sketches plus more for the whole show. I'd like to show you each sketch up and close so you can see how serious we are. As you can see right here, this is Seth. Seth is the patriarch and leader and owner of the boarding house. He's an older man. He wears suspenders often. He still works at night, and he runs the boarding house during the day. A hardworking man for being so elder. I think that this picture portrays him well. Following him, I'd like to point out here, this is our main character, Harold Loomis. As described from the original playwright himself, August Wilson, Harold Loomis walks in with a black trench coat and a black hat. He is scary, and there's no way to go different than that. He's a very scary man that intimidates a lot of people, including Seth. These two do not get along the whole play, as I mentioned earlier, and we'll get more into that later. But this right here is black, dark, kind of timid. This is a dark character, and I think that this costume here incorporates that darkness about Harold. The last character here is Bynum. Like I said, Bynum is a very important character to the play. He mentors, he talks to nearly every character throughout the trials and tribulations in the story. He's always outside, or coming from outside. He's almost the farmhand of the group. He's always doing stuff to help the boarding house move along. I view Bynum as being just an old roughneck, if you will, of the land. I view him wearing overalls like this, with the bare feet. So that's Bynum. Those are the 3 characters of, like I said, 10. He's done a great job. McFinkelstein's done a great job of encompassing all the different types of characters and what they would be wearing in that time and the struggle that they're going on in their personal life. I'd like to move on and briefly touch on the dramaturgy of the play. August Wilson wrote this play as one of a cycle of plays, as I mentioned earlier. He wrote a play for every decade of the 20th century. This play was the second play in the cycle, set in 1911. Other plays by Wilson are described in the dramaturgy, and they are all connected in terms of the way that they symbolize the struggle, rise, and struggle again of the black race as they make their way through the 20th century. Another part of the dramaturgy is a picture, which I outlined in the packet that you will see, and the picture itself is interesting because the picture itself is what our set designer and the original set designer of this play based it off of. An excellent picture that shows exactly what the struggle was in a small house where everybody's working at that time just to keep themselves alive. Completely different than what we see today. Moving on, I'd like to talk about why this play itself is going to be so fantastic for this community. There's no better time than now to talk about the black race and why they've become a normal part of our society. With everything going on in the news across the country, the riots, this play, more than ever, needs to bring us all together to see what a black person and a white person can do. We all go through the same struggles. We all have problems. We all need to work together. And I think August Wilson does a great job of saying, hey, you know what? This is a black struggle. But however, he's not really looking at the black struggle in this play. He's looking at a personal struggle. It doesn't matter, black, white, whoever's in this play, you see that it's a personal struggle. The beauty of this play, though, is that personal struggle is added on to the struggle that they're trying to raise themselves in the early 20th century up north in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This play is fantastic. Our actors do a great job. This is going to fill the house every night. I urge the endowment to, first of all, come out and watch the play. Come to Denver. See what we have to offer. It's not a normal theater town. But man, do we have people working for us? That's great. It's up and rising. This is our greatest production yet. Everybody from top to bottom is working hard. The passion in my voice speaks true for it. We really, really would love for everybody to come in and leave saying the exact same thing. That was a quality theater experience, one that I did not know I could experience. With that, I thank you for your time, and I urge you to give this a great thought and let us know if you can come out and see Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Thank you.